hiding in my cave.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Ange Endeavor. As you can tell, my laryngitis is clearing up. I've been very diligent about staying away from sugar, except for honey and having a little honey in my tea, and taking pretty good care of myself. So we're on the mend, thankfully. Anyways, so today's vlog, I thought I would do a cooking vlog because I'm trying not to go out. I'm still trying to, heal myself, and I don't want to go out in the elements right now. So what we're going to do today is I am going to demonstrate how I make oven fried chicken thighs. And I thought, I like fried chicken like anyone else, but it's not very good for you. And I thought there's got to be a way to make oven fried chicken taste really good. Because one of the reasons you go out and get fried chicken is because it tastes good. So I went and looked at different YouTube videos, and I kind of just sort of gathered little different recipes from different people and kind of made it my own concoction. And it came out fantastic. I've made the dish a few times, and it's tried and true for sure. And you can modify it any way you would like, but I'll just show you what I do, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here is the chicken I'm using. I'm using boneless, skinless thighs, and I like to use these because they just have so much more flavor than breast does, I think. But it's really just a matter of preference. You can use any chicken that you want. And I'm also making a double batch here. And then the ingredients are, we got, of course, salt and pepper, paprika. I'm using thyme, granulated onion, granulated garlic, turmeric, Cholula hot sauce. This is rice flour. It's white rice flour. And panko bread, panko crumbs. So let's begin. All right, so what I've done is I've taken those 2 packages of chicken and put them in this bowl because I'm going to kind of mix the spices and herbs in this. So I'm going to start off with the Cholula hot sauce, but you can put any hot sauce you want in there, whatever you love. Whether it's Frank's or, Tapatio or anything. And you can put as much or as little as you want. So I just kind of put enough so where I'm coating everything. And then here I have salt, pepper, and thyme. So I'm going to kind of put that in there too. Once again, this is oddly cumbersome. And then, And then here is some paprika. So I'm putting all that in. I like to put a lot of paprika in. And then, just shake to however much you want. And then here I have a teaspoon of granulated garlic and granulated onion. So, and you can play with it and put as much or as little as you want in there. And also with I put a teaspoon of salt in here, so that was about the measurement. And then I just ground up the garlic as much as possible. So I don't know, you just take it and mix it in really well. So, that you marinate all those flavors. And of course, we need to always wash our hands before and after. And so when we get it good and mixed in, we'll let that set while we get the rest of the ingredients prepared. Okay. Oh yeah, and I forgot. I think for this amount of chicken, we'll be using about 3 eggs. All right, so I beat the 3 eggs, and we'll pour them in here. Okay, so here I have my white rice flour. You could use brown rice flour too, or you can just use regular, you know, wheat flour. The reason I like to use rice flour, and I use it a lot because it's lighter, you know, and it doesn't feel as heavy when I make this dish. But, you know, you can make gravies and things the same way, you know, it's really quite nice. And, you know, if you're trying to cut gluten out, it's kind of a neat thing. Even though the panko bread has gluten in it, you know, it's like it makes it less. And like I said, it's much lighter. So what I do with this flour is I add just a little bit of each of the onion and garlic granules in it, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor, and a splash more of the paprika. So, you know, you don't have to season it with anything, but I tend to like to do it just a little bit because it just really adds more dimension, you know. I like to season everything just a little bit. All right, so there is that. And now we're going to prepare the panko bread, and there's a certain way I do it. So one of the ingredients I left out is we're going to use half a stick of butter, and I'm going to mix it with that panko bread. Okay, so here I'm melting some butter, and I just want to melt it. I'm not trying to cook anything in here. Okay, now that we've had our butter melted, you take it off the hot burner, and then we're going to add the panko bread. And I'm doing, you know, a package and a half. I think that's going to cover it for that, for the amount of chicken we have. But I wanted to say that the reason why we do this is that the butter absorbs into the panko crumbs, and that's what helps it get that golden, crispy color. So we're going to add a little bit of turmeric to the crumbs, and the main reason we do that is just for color. It adds to that golden color, and there's a little bit of flavor of turmeric in here, but it's not really overwhelming in any way, you know, but it really just adds a lot to the flavor of the dish also. It's subtle and it's quite nice. Now, you don't have to do this whole step with the butter and the turmeric, but I find that this is what makes the difference between good oven fried chicken and really great oven fried chicken. It's really quite yummy. And I'll probably add a pinch of salt and pepper to this as well, just because the crumbs, you know, they're more bland. So just a pinch of salt and pepper to add to give it that nice yummy flavor. Okay, I just added some salt and pepper, and let's begin the process. And this is cool enough, but I have a pad there, you know, because when you just barely melt the butter, you know, you're not there cooking it on the stove for a long time. So that just makes a nice dipping pan. There is our station, and we're ready to proceed. Okay, so here we go. All right, so I'm sure many of you have done this before, but for those of you who haven't, you know, I guess this will be your first time seeing it. And what's so cool is that, you know, you could cut these pieces smaller. You could make little chicken tenders out of it, or if you want. I've done that before, but you end up eating about the same amount, and this just saves so much more time, believe me. I've done it the other way before. All right. Dip into our egg here. It is quite cumbersome doing this. Is odd. It's like the distance between the camera and my hand. All right. So just go ahead and, you know, Dip that in, cover it really well. It's quite nice. Quite lovely, I say. It's very good. All right, and then we'll put it in the pan. And I know I'm gonna be filling up 2 big pans of these, so. And we'll just do one more, and then I'll fill it all up, because I'm sure, you know, it gets monotonous, you know, doing the whole thing, and, you know, it's like, okay, you already know how to do it, so we'll do one more. It's kind of therapeutic too, I think, cooking. You know what's really cool is that I use my spices up. I cook enough at home that I actually run out of things. So it's kind of neat. Anyway, so let's see. Let us do this one more and get it in the pan here. All right, and then I'll just finish up the rest here and I'll be back. All right, all ready to go into the oven. I got 2 nice pans here, and so here we go. All right. One side, and then the other side. And there we go. I have it at 400 degrees. And we're going to go over here. Okay, we're going to start the timer. And it's going to be set for 25 minutes. So once it's done cooking at 25 minutes, I go in and I turn it over and cook it for another 10 minutes. And that's exactly all you need. It comes out perfectly that way. All right, so the timer just went off for 25 minutes. Now, all we got to do is turn these over. And they're already looking quite yummy. Okay, here we go. We'll just turn these over like so. All right, there is that. Put those puppies back in. Okay, and we'll hit the timer again for 10 minutes. All right, there we go. And here is the result. Look at that. Yum, I can't wait to take a taste. Looks good, doesn't it? All right, here we go. Look at that deliciousness. Well, here we go. Wow, that was delicious. You know, I do it the same every time, and it turns out the same every time. 25 minutes on one side, turn it over and do 10 minutes on the other side. And you can't miss. It cooks perfectly. So, and you can always add different spices and ingredients to it, or a different hot sauce, like I said. It's not rocket science. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this vlog as much as I have, and I know I'll be seeing you again soon. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. See you later. Bye.